Alright, what's up guys? Yeah, so I was doing some work in my garden earlier trying to tie back the sugarcane. Sugarcane, this stuff just grows so fast and it's so cool. I love it. I mean, it was about this big and it just blew up in like less than 3 months. It was at my head or above my head, towering. Problem was we got a really big monsoon and the wind was just nuts. And it really pushed the sugarcane. They kind of started leaning this way. And unfortunately, this is my pathway. And so, because I'd never grown it before, I didn't realize how much it pushed out, which wouldn't have been a problem if it weren't for the fact that it kind of got pushed a little bit and leaned, and I didn't immediately correct it at that time. So now I'm constantly battling trying to keep it out of the walkway. And so anyways, I'm tying it up and trying to pull it back. In the process, I found this guy here that previously had a part of it broken off, as you can see up top, but it's doing what sugarcane does. So when you propagate sugarcane, you cut off a piece, but you make sure to leave 2 of these notches, because these little notches is where the new sprouts will come from. And it's actually doing that already on this one. So I'm gonna try to actually just cut off this one since it's already growing and stick this one in the ground and see if we can't get a new sugarcane. So, because why not, right? That's what it's all about, just experimenting. So I got my saw thing here and there's 1, 2, so I'm just gonna kind of cut it down here. I can actually already see this little notch right there where another one is wanting to come in. So we'll cut right above that. And that way this particular part of the cane can still have a chance to grow. But yeah, so there we go. It's actually doing 2 things there. And I'm sure that this will correct itself. Obviously it's growing out this way. If I put it in the ground, I'm just gonna put it in just like this. Right, so I pulled the sugar cane off and decided I'd include putting it in the ground, but I'm gonna put one of them in right now. And it's going to be this one. I'm going to put it in the same row as I have the currants. And that way I kind of get more of that privacy barrier for my fire pit area. And I'll still have room to plant another tree or food producing bush or something. But I've gone ahead and dug me a bit of a hole, same exact way that I did for these, and it worked well. So I'm not going to over effort it, because it worked. I did want to point out one thing though. When I dug every other hole back here, it was digging in clay, very hard, dry, tan colored, dead dirt. And just seeing, like, obviously there's nothing planted over here. I don't really water over here. But this was covered in mulch, and obviously it gets some of the water from these guys over here. But just after less than a year, I mean, I'm down at least a foot, and I know it goes down a lot deeper. It's very cool. It's very broken up. It's very moist. And I could just tell that there's much more life in this soil and dirt than there was, ever when I was here, especially when I started this project. So I just wanted to point that out as a testament to the fact that, you can amend the Arizona dry, dead clay soil. So anyways, I've mixed in some of that native soil with some of the planting soil that I use, along with a little bit of composted manure, just a little bit to add some of the nitrogen. Normally I would mix in a handful or so of gypsum, also mixed with some diatomaceous earth. That's just something I've done in every hole that I've dug. It helps the clay to break down and the diatomaceous earth gives it all kinds of nutrients and vitamins, right? So that's just what I've done. So I've mixed it up. I'm gonna go ahead and just dump it in. Here we are. And let's see. Oh, actually, it's right there. Not that I need it, actually. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of spread that out. Definitely don't need a shovel. It's brand new dirt, right? What am I doing? All right, and then let's. I'm gonna go ahead and break this one off, just because I don't want both of them to become fruitful. I want the one. I guess technically they're all gonna put out things, right? But I just wanted to focus on this guy here. So let's move some of this dirt out of the way that I just dumped in. And we're gonna push this down. There we go. Look at that. Okay. And I'm gonna cover it back with that good dirt that I just mixed up. And then some more of this native dirt on top, since it's pretty nice. It's not all dried out and dead, so that'll do just fine. And then I am going to just water down this area, and we will take some mulch, and I'm gonna keep this area covered up a little bit. It is January, so right now it's very nice out. It's like 65 degrees, but it has a nice warmth to it. So my plants are loving capturing or soaking up this warmth after a really pretty dang cold winter. And I'll use some of the fallen leaves from the other plant to help it and make sure that it stays wet. But there we go. It's in the ground. It's sticking out, and I'm pretty confident that thing's going to grow and grow well. So that is how you would propagate your sugarcane. Just cutting off a piece like that, so it has these 2 notches, and then putting that down in some good soil. You can do it in a pot or like a Tupperware type thing and start it that way if you want. Just keep it wet. It'll sprout from one of these places. You can see this already has a little knob that is wanting to start growing. So when I plant this one, I'm going to plant it with that facing up so that will sprout. So go grow you some sugarcane and grow on. Mission accomplished.